No embraces.
No, I'm a hugger. I'm a known hugger.
No, me too.
Right.
Inappropriate hugging.
Let's do this.
Yeah. In the Australian insurance market, it's synonymous with creative advertising. Why do you think that is?
It's an interesting category because everyone's in market, but only once or twice a year. So you become an always-on advertiser, and then within that, you've got to come up with some decent proposition or narrative that people are going to put up with and then embrace if you do a good job. So really, wallpaper advertising doesn't work. If you're going to compete, you better do a good job.
What role does audio advertising play amongst that? Does that sync with those beats? Does it fill the gaps?
It very much synchronizes through it. It becomes a bit of a throwaway comment. But if you think about the way as the media's fragmented, people stopped saying, I'm making a TV ad and then we'll do something else. They started saying we're making video ads that we're going to run on TV and then on other different kind of platforms that support video. And we've been doing that for as long as I can remember. But then now people start thinking about the same, like audio has built up its presence again in the kind of the thinking. We were incredibly honored to work with She's on the Money podcast this year, and we won Best Campaign for all podcasts in Australia this year, budget directed. And you just can't turn up to any new channel and do the old game. You've got to sit and think about the listener, and you've got to think to yourself, how can we add to it or be relevant? Now, to me, that means you either do something that entertains, right? So people are like, I wish I had that 30 seconds back, or you do something where you reward, you can do that. But at the very least, leave someone with a bit of a smile on their face. And I always, when I think about our new Sonic branding, which is interwoven into things, it still makes you kind of go, let's go.
Yeah.
We're very much a challenger brand, taking on our rivals and, being more passionate and more into it than anyone else. And that should be reflected in our audio branding.
Insurance solved with Budget Direct.
We recently worked with you and your agency to create and develop new Sonic branding assets. What motivated the decision to commission the work for Budget Direct?
Well, it was largely around codes and, the fracturing of the media and some early success that we'd had in audio, in podcasts. We do quite a lot with radio as well. That's an important part of our mix. But we do always want to move the brand forward. And so we want to be memorable, and audio is so important. And then because of the rise of podcasts and the rise of radio, it really came into view again. And I wanted to make sure that we had something truly memorable as we try and really build on our salience and familiarity of the brand.
And how was it performing? And how will you know that it's been successful?
Well, I think the kind of two sides of it. The general kind of chat that we get back from people and people liking it and telling us they think it's fun. I actually think like if someone comes up to you and gave you a big earnest speech on it, I wouldn't even believe it.
It'd be me.
Yeah. But what I do know is people like around the business, especially this, we have over 2,000 people in the business and people are proud of it. They think it's fun. And I like it when that first reaction is the real reaction. And they like feeling like the cavalry arriving. We're really passionate about helping our customers, and so they feel kind of good about it. And obviously what we do with our research is that I think some of these kind of certain metrics I call them the glacial metrics. They take a long time. So we annually look at codes and things like that, and we've never ever generated more quotes, and we're that front end job is working its tail off. And so that's the scoreboard I look at, quotes and sales.
Great. And do you feel more confident to use some of the audio-only platforms now you have these Sonic assets?
Yeah, because it's a function of just getting your act together.
Talk about mind-blowing, Sarge.
What's that?
Budget Direct are Australia's most award-winning insurer.
Aye, the experts agree. They really have blown away the competition.
Dark!
Switch online to Australia's most award-winning insurer.
Insurance solved with Budget Direct.
Is there anything in the audience or demographic or reach that you get in audio that maybe you can't get in some of the other broadcast media or video media that you're using?
It does have edges to it, and also it has captive audience and they're driving cars and things like that, so there's an obvious tie in there. But I'm a big believer in integrated marketing, and so I want to make sure that any channel we're in, you have to have critical mass to make it worth being in that channel if you can do good radio. Podcasts are really the thing that is actually stretching out and giving you people who are not watching traditional television or might not even want to be on YouTube, like your younger people.
The same could be said for streaming.
Yeah.
Finally, what advice would you give any other marketers, CMOs who are watching this, who are considering creating sonic branding assets and enabling greater use of audio?
I think it's more that an art was lost and an art has been found. So, you know, I wish I'd got into it and done it earlier, but at the same time, work with people who really understand the biology of it, like what really makes it what it is, and take your time and try and come up with a good one. But then also you've got to have courage. You've got to do something that will resonate, and you've got to absolutely got to have something that leaves you a little bit uncomfortable, or it will just be, you know, white noise really. You know, so you've got to be bold, you've got to be brave, and then you've got to stick with it.
Yeah, great. JK, thank you very much for your help. Man. Appreciate it.
Yeah, great. Thanks a lot, bud.
Thank you.